The Berks County Heritage Center is a historic site within the Berks County Parks and Recreation System. This park itself features the Gruber Wagon Works and the Heister Canal Center. The purpose of the site is to tell our early transportation history and to share that with the public so that they can learn a little bit about what was going on in the Industrial Revolution time. This property was a dairy farm until 1976, at the time that the county then acquired part of this farm property. At the same time, what was happening was the Army Corps of Engineers was building Blue Marsh Lake. Thankfully, and very fortunately, the Wagon Works was chosen to be saved because of all the tools and equipment that were here. It was listed on the National Register of Historic Places and ultimately became a National Historic Landmark. When you come in through the doors, you're seeing the shop as it existed approximately 1915. All the tools and equipment are here that the Gruber family had to build farm wagons. There's over 19,000 objects still in the building. This is a Gruber box wagon. They also made hay flats and heavy work sleds and wheelbarrows, but this is a typical kind of wagon that would be used to carry products back and forth to town, milk cans, produce. They made 3 different sizes of these box wagons. They always had a seat on them, and all the fancy design work and pinstriping you see on it is typical of how they were always decorated. We're here in the blacksmith shop where George Gruber was the blacksmith until 1935 when he retired. Most of the tools that are in here are things that George created to use in doing all the ironing of the wagons. Well, this is the West tire setter, one of the last pieces of equipment that the Grubers bought to work on the wheels for the wagons. What it does is it squeezes a cold iron onto the wooden wheel. It's a hydraulic machine. It pumps oil up through the pistons to where these all press in on these pieces, which are called shoes. There are different size shoes for the different size wheels, but what is just amazing about it is that it is squeezing this cold, half-inch thick piece of iron onto this wooden wheel. Here in the bench shop, there are 4 benches for the wheelwrights to work. At this bench, we have a set up to show you how the spokes were carved by hand. So they're put on a vise like this. Then they used a draw knife to cut and shape them and start to make the spoke shape. Then there's a little tool called a spoke shave that it was used to do the fine work and to smooth this down, to have it come out and look like a nice spoke. Maybe not as nice as this one's been sanded, but that's how they started making them by hand. The C. Howard Heister Canal Center is dedicated to Howard Heister, whose family owned the Reading Boat Works, and it will tell the story of the Union Canal and the Schuylkill navigation systems in Berks County. Howard had always been interested and involved in helping his grandfather and his father work at the boat works. He became the local canal expert. He started to collect papers, documents, tools, other equipment. He collected over 1,400 artifacts that had to do primarily with the Schuylkill navigation system. We're very fortunate that we have Wirtz's covered bridge here in the park. It's one of only 5 covered bridges that remain in Berks County. It is the longest single-span bridge in the state of Pennsylvania. It stretches about 218 feet across the Tulpehocken Creek. The Tulpehocken Creek runs through our park here. The Union Canal Bicycle and Walking Trail follows along the creek where year-round you can come and run and bike and hike and utilize the trail and just get out and enjoy nature.